I haven't played an Age of Empires game regularly since the last major one came out. And I don't remember which civ I played primarily for like the 15 hours I played that game for. I mostly just played the campaign, enjoyed it, and then uninstalled it. And I didn't stream it. So, I don't know. I'm not an Age of Empires guy. Like, just because I enjoyed the old games a trillion years ago doesn't mean I'm an Age of Empires guy in the slightest. Let's see what my other options are. Didn't I have gold ore somewhere? That's lemonite. There's actually kind of a weirdly large amount of different ore on this map. Oh, it's a little gnarly. That's also lemonite. Kesserite. Yeah, I guess I'm not going to be making anything too exciting. Just make iron. Be an iron artifact, it's fine. Sure, if it was available. But there's no platinum available to melt down. I'm not going to go scouring every single tile to see if there's a platinum ore. You know, Suited Giraffe, I recommend you go watch the first hour of the VOD. Because we talked about literally every single one of these games. And half the people are still here. So just go watch the first hour of the VOD and let me know how your research goes. Do I think I'll make more Caves of Cud videos in the future? I play Caves of Cud a very particular way. And I make videos when I have time and I feel the inspiration and I want to. I play Caves of Cud every 6 months. I binge it for about 60 hours, and then I forget the game exists for 6 months. I've played it that way since it released into early access, and I will probably continue to play it that way. So it's nothing against Caves of Cud. I think it's an excellent video game that you should play and enjoy. That being said, that's how I play Caves of Cud. So will I make more content for Caves of Cud? Absolutely. Am I going to do it in the next 6 weeks? Probably not. Can I tell you when I'm going to make it? Nope. Because I cannot plan creative need. No. No adventurers can marry or have lovers in fort mode. They retain their non-preference because it would make an adventurer more or less unplayable if they got married in fort mode, because then they'd just be sad all the time because they can't be around their family. Which wouldn't be very fun mechanically. Okay, so you grabbed donkey full bone and conglomerate blocks and iron bars. Go make us something cool there, Dwarf. But at this point, the videos that primarily do well on my channel, YouTube chat, is Dwarf Fortress videos. And up until maybe 2 or 3 days ago, I didn't even have the creative energy to make the most basic videos on my YouTube channel due to being exhausted with moving. So I've also learned that promising things on a timeline is a bad idea. I've taken lessons from Tarn specifically on this. Do not promise things on a timeline when it's based on your own ability to be creative. Coedix Tub has created Arist du Sim, an iron table, and offers it to the dead pillars. So I just choose not to promise things now. Will I make more content about a specific video game that you like? Probably. When? I don't know. If I've made content about it on the past and it's done well enough, probably. Consecrated Mike, thank you very much for the Prime subscription. Appreciate you. Gonna get a round of beers. Dining hall about to have something sweet? Yeah, no kidding. Although I really need to move crafting stuff around. Tosam ver els. You know, actually, I'm gonna put it in the Great Anvil. Which is my metalsmith's guild. Or weaponsmith's guild, even. I hope the new digs are serving me well? The new digs. I would say so. That's a really eloquent way to put it. Yeah, very similar experience. YouTube chat. Person says they dropped... I'm saying person because their username doesn't exist on my screen for some reason or another. But person says that the reason they dropped out of art school was because you can't force creativity. Yeah, exactly. And at the end of the day, the videos I make are creative. And so I have to make sure that right now, whatever I'm making is something that I want to be making. Like right now, all of my creative energy actually is going into content for a channel that isn't even mine. It's less creativity and more just work. Like every day this week, after streaming, I've spent an additional 4 hours recording non-current Dwarf Fortress footage for no clip. It's a good vibe for gaming. Yeah, no, it works. I mean, it's kind of a fake void these days, but yeah. Let's get some more bedrooms done. And also, up here, let's throw that table in. How you doing, Server Lord? For a second there, I thought that dwarf was about to climb up top. I was like, where the hell are you going, dwarf? Let's just get these pieces done. Are you building that? Of course you are. Let's get these doors plugged in. You over here, you can take these two doors. And I will put probably, I guess, a rock chair and a rock throne. Although, how about I just get you? Start smelting magnetite. Actually, let's make a second one of these. Smelters. We're just going to make a bunch of iron picks so I can actually get a proper army going. Also curious about what's up with these squads and why they're not equipping more stuff. So I guess we'll probably just start making steel gear because there is just like dolomite fucking everywhere here. In all seriousness though, I mean, I know somebody who, or rather used to know somebody, I haven't talked to her in forever, who worked for Hallmark making gift cards. Probably got replaced by a fucking large model these days, which is kind of sad. But genuinely, one of the most creatively sucking, like mentally destructive jobs I've ever had the pleasure of hearing somebody talk about. Like, truly sounds awful. Newish artists were paid to make art they did back in the Renaissance, like they did back in the Renaissance. Well, I mean, they kind of do, because that was a patronage system, right? People were paid to make art because a rich person decided they liked your art, and then they would pay you a salary to live in their house on their land and make art for them. Like, that still happens. It's called commissions to a degree. But society has changed as such that you don't really go live on somebody's property. That being said, that's just Patreon. You know, like what that literally is just Patreon. So we're just gonna bring metal ore up here. And also dolomite and coal. I mean, there's a reason Patreon is called Patreon, right? Like, if you're supporting somebody on OnlyFans, congratulations, you're a patron of the arts. Like, that literally is what that word means. Obviously, I'm stretching the definition a little bit, but... Patron of the arse. Yeah, there you go. Patron of the booty. Because tiled floors are valuable-er than smoothed floors and aren't all gray. I don't like individual color. I like to have more variety in the color. Which is why I tile them instead of just smoothing them. Patron of the Arse does, in fact... I'm sure Patron of the Arse would open for Amy and the Sniffers. That I could absolutely see that. And they're probably touring with Idols right now. I think I want to say that it was either a Future of the Fortress or a interview that he did with me, where he said that he wants to bring that back as an option, but was, if I remember correctly, too busy working on adventure mode stuff. So I take that as a yes. You know, the multicolored floors, like the floors just being the color of the stone type that they were, that was a thing that Tarn was convinced by people on the forums that nobody liked that feature. Which I think is kind of funny. And so he, like, removed it as a feature because he was convinced by the forums that nobody liked it. I think I'm just going to dig through this. And what I'm going to do, because I've already got these nifty lockdown spots, I'm just going to put wall there, wall there, wall there, wall there, and put a raising drawbridge right here. And I'll add this to the lockdown lever. So if something scary shows up underneath us, pull the lockdown lever, lock this, and it'll also lock this. And then these dwarves can leave this way. And then I could do some bedrooms along here. Minecarts. It's probably the best use of platinum in the game. Obviously, I mean, like blunt force trauma heavy weapons, artifacts are probably the actual right answer, but Because you can't plan for those, I would say minecarts. But minecarts used for defensive purposes, not minecarts used for intended purposes. Man, again, I'm running out of stone quicker than I can mine it. I really hope that some of this jet isn't in the aquifer, but I'm not super keen about my odds right now. Is anybody else amazed that nobody's died from falling off this thing yet? Or is it just me? Okay, let's just do this. Iron pick. Let's make 5. And got 1 peasant. One, 2, 3. 4, 5, and maybe 6. Happiest bearded military dwarf. Both the military dwarves are bearded, that are bearded are already named. So let me check. This dwarf's pretty happy. Doesn't want excitement and wants to fight. You know, and I'll just throw those 3 in there because they all kind of look like they'd be fine, and they all have skills already. You're about to redeem it? Well, there you go. I mean, Lanix could nominate you if you want. Hey, YouTube chat, the first person to put 3 emojis into the chat that include people, get a dwarf. He is very stubborn and he can be very happy or optimistic, often feels envious of others, and often feels lustful. He doesn't focus on material goods, and this is madness. Hello, Hobo, how are you? He doesn't focus on material goods, and he doesn't think tightly to ideas and is open to changing his mind. He often finds obligations confining, though he is conflicted by this for more than one reason. He generally acts with a narrow focus. He generally acts impartially, is rarely moved to mercy, and does not go out of his way to help others. He always points at others when greeting them, and he needs alcohol to get through the working day. He likes working outdoors and only grumbles mildly at bad weather, and is getting used to tragedy. He dreams of crafting a masterwork someday, and personally sees shrewd and guileful as somewhat. He personally respects the shrewd and guileful, and is somewhat put off by trade and commerce, and values family. Likes nickel and turquoise and giant chinchilla leather, nautilus shell, hemp fabric, and the color moss green. And when possible, prefers to consume dwarven rum, donkey's milk, and garlic bulbs, and absolutely hates moon snails. David Barksdale, what kind of dwarf would you like? And beard or no beard? His very long beard is braided, and his very long sideburns are braided. And he's a member of the Order of Dust. Very popular religion. Welcome to the fort. It's the guy who's always doing finger guns. That's a funny way of putting it. And now I'm in an ad break, so it's a good time to keep the game paused. So Barkside, or Barksdale, what kind of dwarf job do you want? We've got stoneworkers, we've got some animal caretakers, we've got some smiths, we've got crafts dwarves, we've got farmers, we've got some engineers, we've got various other dwarves. Also, how's Toothpick doing? Wants to practice craft pretty bad, but seems to like his job. Engineer. Barksdale. Aqua Gates. Has a very calm demeanor, dislikes receiving advice, preferring to keep his own counsel, has an active sense of humor, and tends to avoid any physical confrontations. He works to square his natural tendency with his respect to martial prowess, and he isn't particularly ambitious. He is grateful when others help him out, tries to return favors, often feels discouraged, and tries to keep his things orderly. When he gets excited, it's easy to tell because he drums his fingers. He needs alcohol to get through the working day and likes working outdoors and only grumbles mildly at bad weather. Dreams of mastering a skill and personally sees merrymaking as a waste. This dwarf would actually be good in the military too. He likes platinum, yellow zircon, red squirrel leather, the color accrue, and crossbows, beds, and figurines, and goblets, and cows for their haunting moos, carp for their protruding mouths, and the words of the meandering lyrics of impossible prefers to consume, mountain goat, wild carrot plants, and hard wheat beer. And absolutely hates mosquitoes. I also hate mosquitoes, so that's very relatable. He is a novice siege engineer, but a bit rusty. Also a mechanic. And around the outside of this should be a seed stockpile. And you can be an office for the mayor. And you can be a dining hall for the mayor. And then that will be bedroom for the mayor. As I think I'm going to do that. Let's see who's digging. Just the one dwarf still? Man. So much of this jet is just in this aquifer. Yeah, it's pretty tough competition, Notakasa, isn't it? The personality, it affects what kind of tasks they prioritize doing, how well they get along with other dwarves is the primary effects. Looks like I've got 2 miners now. There we go. It begins. 3 miners. And there we go. We're hitting the aquifer again. Triple diggy? Oh, yeah. And that number going to go up. Things are pretty calm, but I have a feeling that that's going to change pretty soon. Okay, they are actually training. That's good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into here. Well, actually, the other thing I need to mine out, I need more flux. And there is... Okay, actually, I'm going to do this. I'm going to go to stone use. I'm going to go to dolomite. Don't use dolomite to make blocks anymore. And then we're going to go start surface digging. We're going to dig out a lot more of these trenches and just leave the goblin towers. And also maybe just do some surface mining down here. While I still can. For all that dolomite. We'll use up the last of the dolomite blocks. And I'm going to go over to you and link you to this. You kind of can. You just have to start at the top and dig down and smooth the edges as you dig down. Indie gamer, it's going well. How's life been? But yeah, you absolutely can you absolutely can drain the rocks. But we got tons of coke at this point, which is good. Kind of tempted to get a jeweler. If not like right here, then somewhere close to here. Let's actually just jump up to here. Go jet table. Jet tables. We're going to put some chairs in around these. I'm also going to smooth these walls. Maybe I'll replace them with something else at some point. Stairs going down. Just use the dolomite blocks, trying to get rid of them. Use dolomite down here. Dolomite down here. Been sick all week, and meaning you've missed the entire week of your internship? Oh, that sucks. Uh-oh. Cavern dwellers, back to the darkness. Are they attacking us directly? It appears that's the case. Well, maybe not. Oh, nope, absolutely they are. 100% they are. Also, did I just see a dwarf? We've got the ratmen, folks. Oh, I see. Dwarves, or goblins, you should run away in fear. Speaking of jet, there's also a bunch of jet down here in the caverns. Oh, wow, they were literally in the middle. Well, let's send the militia down into the walkway right here. Are they actually coming to us? Oh, yeah, no, it seems that they are. Run away, goblins. Oh, no. The goblins are actually completely trapped. We're legitimately going to have to rescue them. Look at that. Look at those big babies. Well, here comes the squads. We've got Short-Ass, the novice axe dwarf at the lead. One goblin has managed to make a break for it. I haven't hit him. Here comes Serious Salsa. Not particularly well armored just yet. And they do appear to have shields and spears. The first of the underground fights begins. Chat, can I get a Vile Force of Darkness for good luck? The dwarves cut at the rodent woman in the upper arm, with a short sword tearing apart the muscle. Bits and pieces begin to fly, and she already can no longer breathe. Hearing the screams of their friend, the rodent ladies and men stand in fear. Rin of the Stars clears another one, hacking the rodent woman in the upper left leg with her battle axe. Unfortunately, she was stabbed in the lower arm, which tore the fat in her arm. So sore arm, but has a cut. Will be okay. The dwarves continue to move through. And it is... Oh, there you are. It is Serious Salsa's next opportunity to earn his title of being serious, but instead decides to start bleeding because he gets stabbed in the right arm with a steel spear, which tears the muscle pretty badly. But nothing he can't get over quickly, as the bleeding has already stopped. And they continue to shred this rodent into tiny little pieces. Not a bad training opportunity, if nothing else. Another one is bleeding heavily, getting struck by a shield. Got another rodent down there, and another one up here. Very quickly, the dwarves are easily able to take them to pieces. This one carried her baby into combat. We're so proud of the baby. More of the rodents fall apart as soon as they appear. How many of them are we up to? Down to one. We go tell them to kill the final rodent. It appears that Squiggly Girl here is actually fighting with the creature in one-on-one, who also is my high death, and the first goblin appointed to my fortress. The rodent woman takes the name Crazer Rasps, having killed the goblin, an evil humanoid with a long tail. She killed the goblin by stabbing her in the head with a bronze spear, which clove her head asunder. And now we have a mask. I think that mask is going to be the symbol of my militia commander. Although I have to find it. There it is. As the soldiers come running in, Short-assed with his trusty axe duels with the creature and is already bleeding. But it's nothing that won't heal. Rest in peace to the good dwarves, or to the good goblin who passed. I'm just going to go through here and unforbid all of their gear. Many dwarves are going to go rest after the fighting. But overall, I would say that went quite well. And now we have shields. And some better weapons as well. But unfortunately, F's for our good goblin. You shall be missed. When baby got a front row seat, it'll be stronger than all of them in no time. Yep, that's one of the squatties carrying a baby is a very common effect of dwarven parenthood and military tasks. It's one of the oldest memes in the book, too. In fact, they used to be usable as shields. I don't think that's the case anymore. But it used to always amuse the ever-living hell out of me. Take your kid to work day? That's every day. Take your kid everywhere. I mean, how else are you supposed to develop a healthy parent-child relationship without taking your kid to work? I mean, it's only logical. Also, Squiggly Girl, you seriously will be missed. How goes the wounds up here? Needs cleaning, needs dressing. Okay, so it looks like people are getting tended to at a pretty rapid pace. It's not the nicest hospital. I mean, it is just a rock floor in a room, but hey, at least it's a hospital, allegedly. Or so we claim it is. And thus it is. It's a place where the medical stuff is done. Oops, I just clicked the wrong button there. Oh, that's a dormitory. Whoops. Okay, you be given to somebody. You be given to somebody. Jade had already grabbed that one. They'll be fine. And so that is the next thing that needs to get done once they actually get around to it. Okay, down here on this lower layer, let's go Dolomite. Which I'm out of, so that's fine. We'll do Jet instead. And Dolomite. Yours is also literally a rock floor and no beds and a traction bench and a table and a chest. Hey, you know, hey, if it works, it works. Don't fix it. Minimum viable product is what we call that. You know, I just realized this actually ain't going to work. I need to use something that isn't a drawbridge for this. So I think I'm just going to deconstruct this and have stairs going up to here. Yeah, because that's not going to be safe. No matter how I build that. Okay, we are queuing up some coffins. Quite a few coffins, as well as tables. I think that we need to make some sort of memorial for that goblin as well. Because they did dream of ruling the world. There you are. He's the youngest son of Snowdub Helldots and Stozu. We'll make a statue for him. I think he's earned that. Uh-oh. Something has collapsed on the surface. Oh no! I kind of figured that would happen at some point, but it was just somebody got knocked unconscious. Nobody's dead. Okay, so let's say make pig iron. Actually, let's just do this. Pig iron. Steel. So we'll just say 25 and 12. And you're still making coke. You'll have to see it. And then you are going to make steel shields. Well, actually, let's say steel helms. Something that takes... Something that I don't have a quality number of. And by that, I mean none of. For a second there, I thought that dwarf was wielding 2 swords. I was like, wait a sec. Hold on a second. I certainly hope that the baby will avenge them. Who else is going to? Not me. Okay, so this will be Mayor's bedroom. Oops. And then you want a weapon rack and a armor stand. And 2 chests. Well, the chests part is easy. Do I also have cabinets? I don't think I do. I don't. Is there just pig iron or is there other iron? I would recommend looking at and researching the Wikipedia page for iron and how alloys work. And hopefully it'll make some sense to you pretty quick. Because pig iron is an alloy of iron. Deflect the blow with the baby. Yeah, or use the baby as a projectile weapon. All of these statements are perfectly viable options. All I have to say is I feel really bad for all of the pigs who are in that iron. They definitely didn't deserve that fate. War train the baby to throw it or throw into battle. Yeah. Just real quick skimming. Also shout out to the person who signed up to my blog. Because I just saw that. I think I should also make an iron table at some point. And now we're making our first steel bars. You'll love to see it. All right, so let's do... You know, I'm kind of tempted to just do steel spears as well. Let's make spear squads. I like spear squads. Do you like spear squads? Or chat, do you have a favorite weapon to make for your dwarves? Something that you default to? I'm a big fan of spears. I think over here, speaking of things, I'm gonna just do a strip of some sort of flooring. Maybe not actually all the way around. Let's kind of keep it a little bit more in the center like. Yeah, we'll just do it kind of like this, I think, actually. And then let's go floor. 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 And floor. And the outside here we'll make it out of something else. I don't know. Maybe gabbro. A nice inoffensive gray. This is going to be for bees. You like swords and maces? Gotcha. Because there's honey everywhere, as well make bees. Waste not, want not, you know. You like hammers? Axes or hammers followed by spears? 1 sock, 2 sock, thank you so much for the 6 months, my guy. Appreciate you. Thank you so much for continuing to help support the channel. Actually, this is probably the better way to do that, but... that's what we're gonna do. Whatever's closest is not the right option there. Let's just do another jet. 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 And jet. Does eating it come with complications? No. No, they'll cook it into meals or just eat it raw. There's no negatives to that. Unless it rots, in which case then they won't eat it. Let's go farming. Hive. Hive. And it begins. But congratulations on marking a beast and harvesting its flesh for consumption. That's no small feat for a dwarf. That is, in fact, no small feat. Hammers are very useful, be they carpenters' hammers, sledgehammers, war hammers. Big hammers, small hammers. Dad hammer, mom hammer. Bammer. All variations of the same thing. There's a giant slimy newt with noxious vapors. Ooh, sounds delicious. It's probably a delicacy in some parts. And now we get our first higher quality weapons. I'm very proud of these dwarves. Although I feel like... who's my best weaponsmith? I feel like I should make Codex Tub in charge of this. Oh, you're gonna go sleep instead? Oh, fine. How about Pix's weapons? I don't like using Pix's weapons because it causes job conflicts. Anything that causes job conflicts, I don't like using, personally. That's like something you assign as a backup if you're desperate, not something I would use as a weapon. Anything that causes conflicts is automatically very low on my list. Ads are running. I'm gonna go grab my sandwich. I will be back momentarily. Language acquired. Also, I like the pun, sideburns. Appreciate it. This is a ham and cheese, lettuce, and I think I put mustard on it? I can't remember. I made it 3 days ago. You retired a 20th population small fort and then made a new one nearby and noticed that after retiring your fort, the fortress is now under goblin control with 6,000 population. I have a question. If you're playing a game of Civilization, right, and then you're, you have a city that's kind of like on the edge of your map, and you keep getting these notifications that say, you're under attack, you're under attack. And then you look back over and that city is no longer yours and it's under, I don't know, France's control. Is that a bug or intended outcome? If you're playing a fortress and you're doing fortress things, doing fortress things, doing fortress things, doing fortress things, you retire the fortress and then you go make a new fortress, and then the goblins invade that fortress and take over that. Is that a bug or an intended outcome? No, that's very much intended behavior. The goblins invaded a fort that you built and took over it. So if you want it, you got to go take it back. Retired forts can absolutely be routed, taken over. They can be destroyed. Lots of fun things can happen to them while you're not there. Time passes by 2 weeks every start, and if the goblins were on their way to invade it and they weren't equipped to fight whatever army they had, and the goblins are going to demolish it. I mean, I had that happen with Winterhearth recently. But no, the world keeps moving. So you can't reclaim that fort until you've destroyed all the goblins in that location, which you could do in adventure mode or in fortress mode. Although I'm not entirely positive it's possible in adventure mode at the moment, but... That is not, it's not a bug. Trust me. And trust me, they had that population. Just because you don't see the population doesn't mean the population isn't there. Yeah. And it's also not a new civ, most likely. It's likely another one. If you, as an example of this, if I click news and rumors, please have news and rumors, please have news and rumors. I don't see any news or rumors. This is a location that was taken over by elves. The population of that has changed several times. This is a population that is owned by something that took over it. This is an elven site that used to be a human site. This is a elven site that used to be a goblin site. This is a dwarven site that's now an elven site. This is a dwarven site that's now an elven site. This is a dwarven site that's now an elven site. This is an elven monastery that used to be a human monastery. And as far as populations goes, that's not a bug. It's very much intended behavior. Like, you saying, where did this population come from? Well, they're all in camps. The only population you see publicly, like on the overworld, is the people that are currently living in these locations, right? However, there are camps and stationed armies that do not show up on the overworld because you don't know their location. You only see those in adventure mode. Sometimes you'll see rumors of them, but generally all that you will see is locations of people. So there could be an army of like 12,000 goblins right there. Nobody's told me. There could be an army of 700 there, 300 there, 245 there, 85 there, 10 there, 6 there, 6 there, 6 there, and then about a trillion camps of refugees. There's a lot of things on the overworld that you don't see. It's sort of like, you know, in medieval times, not the restaurant, you could be living in a humble little village. And there could be a little village 2 doors down. And then an army of 50 bandits shows up at that village, kills everybody, pillages everything, and you don't notice for 6 months because you only see them every 6 months when it's time to trade wheat for their honey or whatever. Same thing. This is intended behavior. Oh yeah, it'll take a while. I mean, it took me maybe 10 years to clear out armies like that, but if you explore the area in adventure mode, you'll see the armies on the overworld. Red shields are armies, blue shields are often neutral entities, but can also be either armies or refugees or prisoners. I mean, the last adventure mode run I did, there was a town with an army of, like, literally 1,100 bandits, if not more, just in this town. And I managed to rout them after training that adventurer a lot. And one, it was very satisfying to do. But two, all of those soldiers could be recruited by any human army, any dwarven army, any goblin army to go and invade a site on their behalf, right? So there could be like 10,000 mercenaries in a small area occupying other towns. Not occupying them per se, but just like living in the towns, bullying everybody, beating people up, taking their money, that kind of thing. And then some goblin just comes along and says, hey buddy, if I give you $10, will you go murder those dwarves? And then they go, fuck yeah, and then they go murder the dwarves. Like, that's what the game's doing behind the scenes. Like, there was a location that we found a while ago. Actually, I can't remember who found it, but we reveled over this area because it was this tiny little fort. Like, not a dwarven fort, just a human, like, military encampment. It had a population of 10, according to the overworld, but had a body count in the hundreds of thousands. Because every single season, there was, like, 3 dozens, like massive battles between mercenary groups, because every single faction in the region was hiring mercenary groups and sending them to that one place to try and take it. And it was occupied by a demon overlord and a bunch of elite soldiers. And they also kept hiring mercenary groups to defend them. So it was like constant battles of thousands in this one spot. And I sent a couple squads to try and take it over once, and they just all got annihilated by the demon. And it was nutty. And like, you'd check legends and it was like the longest legends played page I've ever seen. Stuff like that, you know? Like, you don't always have all of the information as to what's going on in the overworld, which is why it's fun. And that's why legends is cool, is you get to go see what's going on. I mean, you could go look at legends and see whoever led the army, did they hire mercenaries? Where did they come from? What locations? No, I mean, you can kill them with a pointy stick. It's just good luck getting the pointy stick into their head before they stab you to death or set you on fire or kill you. But no, you can kill them. Okay, so now I can get those dwarves' bodies dealt with. But no, anything can be defeated with a pointy stick if you have a pointy enough stick and a will to fight. Most things that happen in Dwarf Fortress don't know about the player in game. Yeah, most things that happen in Dwarf Fortress happen completely indifferently whether or not you're there to witness them. And honestly, I really love that about Dwarf Fortress, that a lot of things just happen. Because that's what makes it interesting. I'll check that artifact in a second. I'm just going to finish my sandwich. Never mind, some migrants arrived. I'll put this in. Be right back. It got cloudy, no more concerning sunbeams. Yeah. All right, let's see. Where's this migrant wave? Poor aesthetic sense. Wants crafts. Okay, fine. How about you? You avoid excitement, poor focus. Doesn't say anything about bravery. Yeah, wants to create a great work of art. How about you? Empathy, values competition, good intuition, dreams of raising a family. Doesn't mind a little tumult. You'll be okay. Let's see what the next one is. You, hello. Poor spatial sense. Dreams of mastering a skill. Well, things offered gets likes a little excitement. Okay. Just trying to get this squad full here. Tough, musical, flatterer, tolerant. I don't see any super red flags in terms of raising a family. Doesn't really value skills related to fighting. I'll let you pass then. Some random livestock, bone carver. In terms of crafting a masterwork someday. Eh. Raising a family. Personally sees working hard as a foolish waste of time. Poor social awareness. Disdains hard work. Bad recovery. Resists sickness. Recovers quickly. Flatterer. Zany. Proud. Emotionally distant. You know what? Sure, Ficod. You can get in there. Then I'll check in on the... artifact after I check this. See what other people can get. We can get some new helms. Look at that. You'll love to see it. Okay, so artifacts. Oh, wow. It's a bone doctor's claimed a craft store shop. Picked up 2 boulders, clear tourmalines, and goose leather. Well, that's cool. Well, it's going to be some sort of craft. So best of luck to that, dwarf. I'm quite happy with how this fortress is looking. What do you think of it so far, chat? I think it's really coming along. I think we need to make that tavern nicer, though. That, I think, is one of the bigger concerns I have at the exact moment. Because this ain't a tavern, and currently, this is my tavern. I think I can do better than that. And there's also, elk birds on my roof. Well, that's kind of funny. I think... Ooh. I think that I'm going to make a little structure right here. Cut out this, and then make kind of a floating, maybe not floating, but like suspended above ground thing, and then it can connect to here. I think that's what I'm going to do. Like, this will be the tavern out here. Or maybe underneath this. Chat, what do you think better? Tavern under the bridge? Or tavern above the bridge? Or tavern next to the bridge? While I murder some puppies. Rather, I can't murder the puppy, but I can murder the yak calf and the alpaca, so we'll do that. I don't really want the bridge to be the tavern. Above feels like a motorway service station. Maybe. I don't know, you could do stairs there and there. I think above it is building on me, so we'll do that. think we'll go with that. What's the population up to? 79? Oh, damn. Let's also go one further up. Although I need to stop using closest material. It's gonna mostly be made out of jet. We can call it the jet fuel runway. It does kind of sound like a Las Vegas thing. It's like the Sky High Tavern. Yeah, very much sounds like a Vegas thing. This is gonna take friggin' years to build, though. This is gonna take friggin' years. Glass floors. I don't have any glass in the fort right now. I could queue some up, but metal is a higher priority. So I'm thinking probably nay on the glass floors idea. But maybe we could do like grates or something. Zuglar, the Bone Doctor, has created a ghoul cog, a dolomite bracelet, and offers it to the dead pillars. I will place that. Not an offering place. Down in here for safekeeping. Although grates are more dangerous because things can topple them, but I could probably make something that looks cool. Although I know that like the concept of like this is a bar and it's really high up is a very Vegas thing generally. It actually just makes me think of Just Cause because of the one level that's just like it's a bar but it's a blimp. And apparently we have enough dwarves for a farmer's guild. They want a farmer's guild hall, hey? You know, I was going to make these into offices, but maybe... Ooh, actually... How about I do a farmer's guild underneath the fields? So, like, this is the farmer's guild, basically. I think that could look nifty. Maybe not right there, though. A very vertical fortress. Much more vertical than I tend to go. Wonder why all these got forbidden. Also suddenly wondering if they caught something dead. Or if something spooked us. Nope. There's scary animals on the map. Oh, probably just the elk birds. It's probably just these. Hey, dwarves, we need an elk bird cleanup crew. Like, desperately. No? You're not interested? Please unexist the elk bird. It's making construction difficult. I told you to unexist the elk bird. What is this? Do you need me to put on yakety sacks? There you go. Where's the other one? All the way at the bottom of the map now. Well, that was quite the distance traveled. Impressive, really. It's going all right, Bobtron, yourself. You suspect that my build will take less years than your pump stack? Why is your pump stack taking so long? Although, I mean, pump stack taking a long time or not taking a long time is like knowing the order of operations primarily. Like, what order do you have to do what task to have the pieces that you need? And the types of blocks in the right order and the right numbers and whatnot. Although, I'm not against the idea of making these into long dining halls. Why don't we do this? Just a long dining hall along here. And then I could do, well, currently there's no roof there. Two. Just put tables in twos like this. And then chairs. Although they need a roof, so once that's built. What were you up to, Bob? Do I play with any mods? I play with none, currently. Game's completely vanilla. Maybe once the modding changes come in, but until that point, there's kind of no real point, in my opinion, to play with many mods, if any. Unless you don't like the way the game looks, in which case, sure. Just because the mods don't allow anything that is mechanically different. Yeah, I mean, that's something that you prep for, right? Like, if you go in knowing that you want, like, if I decide I'm going to build a pump stack, I start prepping the year before. And I just have all the materials and everything ready by the time I start making the thing, is usually how I go about it. So I just have tons by the time, like, I actually need them. Oops, that's the wrong tool. That was weird. Music just stuttered in an odd way. I really like the combination of dolomite and jet. I think it looks really nice. Like, I honestly think it looks kind of gorgeous. This aquifer is not going to be the death of me, but it's certainly annoying. Try and get at this jet, but I think I can go in from the bottom over here. So there's also... I swear I saw a jet up in here. Mayhaps I'm just fooling myself. Black pink. I don't know if I'd necessarily call... Chad, is dolomite pink? I'm sure there's a word for this color, but it's like, it's not quite pink. It's some other kind of pink. Also, jet isn't black. It's blue. It's navy blue. Mauve? No, that's just pink. that's just pink. According to paintcolor.net, that is very pink. Regardless, it's a very, very, very light color. It's certainly not what I would think of as pink, generally. But, Anyway, no, I don't like the color pink. Not generally, no. It certainly has its place, but it's not a color that I would describe myself as fond of in any real sense of the word. You know, when people call pink salmon, it just reminds me of that line from Wreck-It Ralph. It's not pink, it's salmon. Which is probably what you're quoting, but... I would like to get some jewelry stuff done, so I'm actually gonna plunk a shop up here. Like a dusty rose pink. You know, actually rose is maybe a better way to put it. Yeah, salmon has a very orangey look to it. Well, actually, it depends. Is this cooked salmon we're talking about or normal salmon? Because if it's cooked salmon, then yeah, it's definitely kind of that color. But like, if it's more of a like a red pink, then yeah, you don't want to be eating that salmon. So is this edible salmon or like you're actually gonna die salmon? Because there's a pretty big difference between the two. Dusty rose, take me home to the place I belong. Dusty Rhodes sounds like a character from, like, King of the Hill. You would not eat salmon that color? Depends on if it's wild or not. Wild salmon has a much pinker color to it when it's cooked versus farmed salmon. Is Dusty Rose a wrestling character? I don't know. The only like knowledge I have of wrestling is when podcasters I listen to talk about it, and I generally just listen because like I like my background noise, but like genuinely I have no freaking clue what they're talking about most of the time. Although I will state that I posted on Blue Sky the other day about how like last night, by other day is what I mean, that I'm convinced that VTubers are just wrestling, but Twitch streamers. Just because of the way people talk about VTubers. Like, if you removed all of the slang and terminology, two people talking about wrestling and two people talking about VTubers, literally identical. Like, they're all talking about plot lines and storylines and staying in character and, like, reveals and promotions and fucking debuts. Kayfabe. Although I don't think I've ever heard a VTuber say kayfabe. Maybe they do where you live, not where I live. Andy Tony. Because I've literally never seen that. Like, I'm starting to genuinely believe that it's like the same kind of personality traits attract people to that type of entertainment. It's like reality TV, but not quite. It's like somewhere in the middle. It's like live performance reality TV, I guess. I need another temple complex, apparently. Or another temple. Okay, so I should just move this stockpile somewhere else. And my clothing industry. So I guess my... I'm gonna have to dig directly underneath that. Do I want to do that? that not 10 by 10? No, it's 11 by 11. Duh, okay. So that's 10 by 10, and then this is what? 14 by 8. There we go. By 14. Glad tomorrow's Friday. It's been a mentally exhausting week. Yeah, there you go. No preference whatsoever, Brazil Pirate? Because if you truly mean random dwarf, I'll just do whoever is happiest or saddest in the fort. I mean, for whatever it's worth, it's currently 4 p.m. on Thursday. So, about 15 hours and it'll be Friday too. Random it is? Okay. Let's go up one. Basil Pirate, clasped rough, rarely looks on others with lust, is prone to strong feelings of jealousy, dislikes receiving advice, preferring to keep her own counsel, and doesn't mind wearing something special now and again. She doesn't cling tightly to ideas and is open to changing her mind. She does not have a great aesthetic sensitivity. She is conflicted by this, as she values artwork and its creation. She has little interest in joking around and does not easily hate or develop negative feelings. She often acts with compassion and is quite. She often acts with compassion and is quite polite and doesn't tend to hold on to grievances. She tends to share her own experiences and thoughts with others and needs alcohol to get through the working day and doesn't really care about anything anymore. She dreams of raising a family and personally greatly respects the shrewd and guileful and values good craftsmanship and doesn't care if others take the time to master skills and dreams of raising a family. And she likes mica, nickel silver, and white jade, and yak hoof, the color mahogany, decahedra, crossbows, and cabinets and bracelets. Pangolins for their overlapping scales, and lesser yam plants, because they're better than bigger yam plants, clearly. Lesser yam plants, and for their tubers, and the words of the prim wisps, and when possible prefers to consume iguana, herring, and cassava beer, and can't stand jumping spouters. When did they release Friday 2? I need to transfer my progress from the original Friday. Well, I don't think they released a Friday 2. I think it's either a prequel or a sequel, depending on your proximity to other people's Fridays. So here where I live in Canada, people in Australia, they have Friday 2 because it happens after my Friday, before my Friday. So, wait, no, they got the prequel, actually. They're Friday the prequel because their Friday happens before my Friday. Whereas mine, I guess, would technically be the sequel then. But if you're in Australia, then ours is the sequel. And it's impossible to experience both, because by the time you get to the other one from the first one via plane, the other one's over. Unless maybe you, timed it perfectly. There's actually quite a few good movies with the word Friday in the title. Friday the 13th, Freaky Friday. You know, Friday's a pretty popular piece of pop media, shall we say. Okay, so which one needs a temple complex? and a high priest. The Doctrine of Bronze, which is, that's amethyst. The Order of Dust. The Doctrine of Bronze, 27 worshippers. My God, Batman. All right, well, let's knock down these walls. Let's just make pig iron. And no, you're just going to help with the pig iron. I'm not familiar with those particular Friday movies, but you know, we all have different entries into pop culture, so to speak. Let's also start hacking up some gems. Ooh, I'm real tempted to do iron floors. I shouldn't, though, because that's a waste of iron. They're just stoner comedies written in the late 90s, early 2000s. Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, I'm not familiar with that, or I'm not particularly familiar with Ice Cube and his cinematic universes outside of, like, vaguely who he is and some of his music. I think I'll put a window in there and then expand these out to here. So probably this is going to drop in value for a little bit, but embiggening it will help. I will approve this request. We'll get this done first. Oh, sweet. 3 clear tourmalines will absolutely work. Oh man, I did totally do iron floor up top there. I didn't do that intentionally. That was a misclick. Even though we appear to have tons of iron, but I'm going to wait until I clearly have all the iron that I need before I start using it on anything frivolous. Thank you. I'm glad you like it, Radiant. What are we talking about here? I like the quote, it's urgently a bit bulky version of Chinese dumpling. There are no plenty plates. I mean, I know what a dim sum is, but I don't know what a dim sim is. I would call that like a sim from The Sims who's like lacking a light bulb. But dim sum is quite common here, if that's what you're talking about. But because you're talking about dumplings, I'm leading to believe that you're talking about dim sum, but I could be wrong. All right, Dwarf, you're going to need to get out of that corner. I hate to break it to you. You didn't know where to start? Yeah, you kind of just need to start from the top and slowly work your way down. I don't even think I've explored the whole thing yet. There's still chunks of it that we're missing. I mean, literally the first thing I did was cave in the big central structure. So I've kind of abandoned a large portion of it, I guess. pause the game again. It's like, why had the game no move? That happens to me more often than I should admit, is just the frequency at which I realize, oh, the game's paused after wondering for a good couple seconds why nobody's moving. It certainly hasn't been bad, Devilish. How was work? I am Canadian, yes. I live in the capital of British Columbia, Canada. Oh, yeah. Which is why I get very offended when people call me American. Not actually, but... Gotta get offended over something. It's gonna be that. You know, Andy Anthony in YouTube chat is like freaking out currently about the fact that I live in BC. I just want to state that there are lots of us who stream full-time who also happen to live in British Columbia. And some of them are like not small. There's some pretty big names actually who live in BC. Just most people don't talk about where they live, which is probably honestly the smart thing to do, but I'm not smart. So I don't care about no rules. Hi, Zeddy. Nice to meet you. Seattle checking in. Yeah. One of the funniest things that ever happened to me, though, was I can't even remember the context. I found Killinite. Huh. Also Lignite. But one of the funniest things that ever happened to me was I was chatting with a friend of mine, just in his chat, and I mentioned something about a loud noise. And then one of his mods just like added me and was like, wait, you're not in Surrey, are you? I was like, what? I don't live there anymore, but he's just like, you're not in Surrey, are you? Like, I don't know. I was like, why do you ask? And he goes, because I also just heard a bang. And then it was followed by like, okay, like, what street are you on? And like, we were DMing back and forth for a minute and found out that we were like literally a block and a half away. Never met the guy, never hung out with him, never encountered him in real life, but it's genuinely one of the like, oh, you are literally like a block away from me. And now I've moved into this building and somebody in the building recognized me, which is still fascinating to me. The world is tiny. There's a lot of coal here. We got lignite, we got coal, and all kinds of things. And all of the jet is crammed into a fucking aquifer, man. Is there more jet down here, or do I just need to give up? It's nice. See what else we have as I go down. Literally just look at different material types. And that's all schist down here. It's galena. More galena. One of those, like, I could just keep digging through it and then just drain it all down into the caverns. Why don't we do that? But yeah, pork dumplings are very, very easily acquirable out here. Very, very, very easily acquirable. I had like one blizzard day here so far this year. Just one, though. You get offended when people call you American and you are one. Well, okay. You win, I guess. So this, I think, over here is going to be my replacement for crafting. And then this up here is going to be that guild. No, wait. What am I doing? Farmers Guild, go here. This ain't gonna dig for very far, and water's gonna start flowing. We're gonna have some weird flooding problems in the future of this fort, I think. That is for sure gonna happen. Also more sandstone. Man, all the good colors are back here. You mean stay home if there's bad conditions? That's always been my strategy. I don't know how reasonable or realistic it is in any sense of the word. I think I'm just gonna queue up rock grate. 40 of them. And I'm just gonna start putting rock grates in these, so that the water can just flow down and not cause us problems. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, the one day it was blizzardy here, because where I live, it's actually very mild. Like, it's more mild than most of BC, and BC is already very mild. But there was a lot of just, like, kind of no apparent reason. Oh, why did you hit that? Why did that accident happen? Well, I mean, it's a mystery. People are dumb, is why that happened. So this is just going to start draining, and I just need to make this as reasonable as possible without flushing these dwarves down into the caves, and also without making a way up into the fort through the caves. And I'll just fortify all the way along here, and they should just be able to drain this out and down into the caverns. And this is going to become a lake eventually, probably. Which means I should probably run around in here and clear all this, actually. But, I have to care about that ore, which I don't really. What are the things I like to do with aquifers? Underground rivers, easy water sources, wells. Not Fargo, just normal wells. That's kind of the main gist of it. Okay, how's the value of this looking? Man, this this counter sucks. Like, he's real bad at counting things. Oh, that's the goblin statue. So you down here, goblin. Goblin get goblin statue, and goblin statue go right dar. Maybe not right dar, maybe right dar. Yeah, let's put it right there. Crap, what kind of artifact was made? It was a bracelet, wasn't it? Yes. Enjoy your lunch, Amalfi. Should also see what we have for gem windows, and maybe actually fill in a bunch of the corners here with gem windows, because that would be great for a tavern. Things like this. I don't have much, actually. They do look nice, though. Smoky quartz. Amongst other things that just got swiped. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. It was you telling Server Lord that they're going to go get some lunch. Right. Wells are some kind of a pain sometimes. Yours is overflowing right now in your current port. Yep, that's... I mean, just being able to dig vertically down and then placing a well on a thing is very nice. Like, I could put a well in here, like, with no thoughts. Really? Okay, I need to wait until I have quite a bit of blocks before I can actually do anything in here. So I think what I'll do instead is just some small things of blocks right here. Because this is going to be where I put my cloth industry. We'll start it off with jet over there. I can also connect this to over here pretty easily. And since I'm down here, might as well up to there. I really like the way this fort's looking. Gotta be honest. Like, really liking the way it looks. Let's also get rid of this job. I make wooden barrel. Let's just do 100. And we'll use tower cap, because, you know, that won't be hard to get 100 tower cap. I'm also going to go to right here. Yeah, actually, screw it. Yeah, we'll do it right there. And then that was going down in here, which is going to be the Farmers Guild. Just what, 100 blocks? You know, how about instead of that over there, I do this? I'm going to do 2 breweries, 2 stills right here. And then these sides can just be like plant stockpiles. Also seems like all of my miners are currently just constructing buildings, which is fair. We need to widen that hallway. I'm thinking at least 2 wide. It's too thin right now. You read that as sketches. You see Elfie and you'll just automatically associate with sketches. It's nice to see Elfie drawing again, though. Hopefully the wrist brace is not too mandatory currently. And thanks for all the likes on the YouTube stream, by the way, guys. Plan for the rest of the week so far for streams, since we're waiting, is tomorrow will be a full day of a game called Goblin Camp. It's on Steam, if you want to go look it up. It's a finished, developed little colony builder that's been on my to-do list for a while, and I just kind of said screw it and bought it last night, because I want to play some city builders. And it looks a little city buildery, kind of banished-ish, but also compelling enough that it's something that I would like to try. So we're going to give that a look. And then the rest of today isn't going to be as long as previous streams, and we're just going to do Dwarf for today, if anybody's wondering. So let's just assign this as the farmer hall and just approve that. I had to take a lot of no's with medical phone calls yesterday, so the ice brace made an appearance that evening. Ah, rip. All the same, though. Seems to be less constant. Hello, Radisaurus. I will say the same thing I say about every playthrough, Radiant. Will I be making more Dwarf Fortress movies? Yes. Can I guarantee you will it be this fort? No. I have about 7 forts right now that could be made into movies. Some not so much. All from the backlogs. I've got notes and ideas. It's just a matter of having the free time and being able to sit down and do it. How did I get into playing DF? A friend of mine on Ventrilo recommended it when I beat Adom in 2009. I feel like Radisaurus should just have a lifetime subscription to Unsanity Live, specifically for that emote. That, or I need some sort of rat emote. Maybe I need like some sort of rat related or rat rodent man maybe emote. Uh-oh. Thief? Skulking filth? Speaking of rats. Oh. Galrealis is back. It's been a while since I've actually had kobolds attempting to murder me to death, and they're not very good at it. This one specifically is overcome by terror. And it's crying. I don't know why I'm laughing, but I think that's really funny. Like maybe a plushy rat emote or something. By the way, for anybody who's wondering why there's a rat on my desk, it's literally a visual gag back when Dwarf Fortress was keyboard only in older versions, and people would be like, "Blind, how do you play this game without a mouse?" I'd be like, or how do you play this game? Because or asking questions about how keyboard only stuff. I'd say no, I'm playing it with a mouse. What are you talking about? On the keyboard, obviously. It's literally just an out of date visual gag that now just lives on my desk because I don't know what to do with it. I'm not a plushie person. I assume it's large in comparison to the kobold, but not actually that large. Like a medium-sized kitchen knife, maybe. It's just to them, it looks gargantuan. Okay, so what am I doing for bars? I'm going to make... Let's just make 10 iron statues. It's going to be a lot of materials, but we're going to do it. I also have some large gems. I'm going to put some of these. A little bit of this. A little bit of that. A little bit of that. It changes every fort, Andy Anthony. I don't really have preferences because preferences make the game samey and boring. So my goal is to just play the game slightly differently every time so that it remains interesting. I've done a lot of, the last few forts were all pretty small and also pretty tightly set up out of necessity to not die horribly. This one so far has been very large, or maybe not very large, but larger and sprawling-ish. Again, out of necessity, because I'm building towers above ground, because I don't know, felt like making towers or something. The next one I do will probably be different. I think variety is the spice of Dwarf. No, they're just unknown material. You cannot figure out what they're made out of. Basically, it means the game called for metal doors, and the people who were building the doors didn't have access to metal when they built the doors. So they just built doors. It's sort of a bug, but they're unknown material. They're definitely doors made by the hands of Cthulhu himself. So we will unfortunately never know what made the doors. They're made out of... Actually, the doors are made out of door, obviously. Clearly. Yeah. Are you asking that question expecting an answer? Because I don't think I have an answer for you. It would be a weapon that does an unknown amount of damage. I'm just throwing things that I think would be decent-ish amounts of value. Man, I fucking love the rose gold barrels that I have. What else could I put on here? Let's put that scimitar on there. I need another shield pretty bad, but at least everybody has helmets. We're getting there, slowly. Slowly but surely. I wonder if we have any instruments. Nope. Well, could chuck a chest in here. Not high enough value yet. You know what, screw it. Let's just engrave the rest of the floors. Because why not? It's not like it's going to cost me much. By that I mean literally nothing. Now up here I need to do the ceiling for this. Although, maybe the way to do this ceiling for this is this. This is definitely the Blue Saloon. Does actually sound like the name of a tavern, too. And I can even build, like, a little structure in the rafters. Maybe an office or something. Like up here, maybe. Tavern keepers, private supply, perhaps. Various rose-cut gems are getting made. Let's see what else we can do here. The Blue Saloon is reserved for the saddest cowboys. Yeah, I would have to agree with that statement. Still not high enough value yet. This has tons of marble. Most of the stone, it startled me. I was concerned I was getting attacked. But we get to trade with the humans. Well, that's fascinating. I kind of wasn't expecting that. Those are all gems.
Woo!
That's what, 15 items? That's actually not that much. Let's just bring these bracelets up. I think I'll get rid of those too. I kind of want the fancy one of the Forgotten Beast to stick around. Let's get rid of those rings. I'm also starting to get lowish on drinks again. Should probably do something about that at some point. I'll just sell these scimitars in the Morning Star. I wonder if they've sent a person that can make agreements with us, or if it's just the welcoming committee. What did it fall to? Goblins. The goblins build these little towers when they're besieging generated areas, which is what I'm building in, these towers. Which I think is kind of nifty, honestly. Heh. Buddy, where your weapon? Oh, I put their weapon on a pedestal. Same with you, probably. Yeah. Wrong button. Yep, you too. Just like, yoinked their weapon away from them. That's kind of funny. I'm not going to speculate in regards to what the building and deconstructing stuff is. If you go to any goblin settlement, they build trenches and towers. Is that what they're going to build? I don't know. I know Tarn has talked before in the past about not liking the way the goblin settlements look and function. So who knows? Maybe, maybe not. Worth Butts Bosun has been reelected mayor. Welcome back, Worth Butts. Night, Bastet. Enjoy Singles Awareness Day. I mean, Valentine's Day. So the tower is something... But yeah, I have no idea. It's best to wait until next week. And on next Thursday when Tarn's on stream with me. And ask him. Or wait until I open up question submission and then ask him. It's probably the best way to do that. Just gonna take a peek at what they have. Radish wine. Should probably just buy the wine because we're actually short on wine. At this exact moment in time, we are short on wine. Blood amaranth, valley herbs, and various other things, grapes and whatnot. Delicious. Can also buy backpacks for my dwarves. They brought books, and I cannot afford them. I will, however, buy those shields, because I can't afford those. And I'll buy those, too. Buy that one gem. Although I can't because it's too expensive. So instead I will buy these blocks. Let's see if they'll do that trade. It is yellow. Yay, they did. Cool. Now I have this problem where I can't actually build anything new in here because it's all already constructed, but I can deconstruct stuff and use those native gold blocks to increase the value of this a little bit. Also, I already have a metalsmith's guild. It's right here. So I'm just going to accept that and change the Great Anvil over to a metalsmith's guild. Actually, no, because this is a weaponsmith's guild. Well, I guess metalsmith's guild I'll have to make somewhere else. It's okay. Won't be too hard. Okay, you're up to 7,000 value. At the very least, my my broker's less shit at his job now. Which, honestly, it's great for me. I mean, is an onion a fruit? This isn't even like a pumpkin's a fruit kind of mind-blowing moments. I feel like tents would be much more likely than them building straight-up living structures because the... Okay, so if allow me to speculate for a moment, please, chat. And please don't say anything I'm saying right now is fact. I don't know, I'm speculating. I don't think the goblins would build the equivalent of a place that they would live if they don't live there. They would build a temporary structure to attack something. The trenches are things they build once they've occupied a place. So that's my 3 cents. That's what I thought. Yeah, I was going to say, they definitely are. I've always definitely thought of them as tubers, but... Although I don't think I've ever said that out loud. I've just kind of subconsciously thought of them as tubers. So, like, at the same time, if I was informed that I was completely wrong, then it wouldn't entirely surprise me. Gotta love scaffolding, hey? Speaking of scaffolds, somebody here knows what I'm talking about. Strange Scaffold has made 14 games, and apparently have 3 more coming out this year. Do they sleep? That's it. Because I don't think they do. Wow, I just had like the inability to see grates for a second there. Maybe let's get rid of this one. Go floor grate right there. This is gonna very much help the moods of them running up and down these stairs repeatedly. Also kind of waiting until our first Forgotten Beast. We haven't had that happen just yet. Okay. This will clear it. Let's let the culinary degree member of chat weigh in on the is an onion a tuber discussion. You probably wrote, although jokes aside, you probably wrote papers about this, right? Maybe not this specifically, but I read that as it's a corn, except in the voice of the it's corn kid. The I love corn because it's corn kid. Are we still... Okay, so I'm now just working through my coke. What do I have for bars currently? 2 steel. Let's go to here and say steel breastplate, make 10. Steel chain, leggings, steel leggings, and steel. Why am I forgetting the name of foot armor? High boots. I wanted to say sabaton. I'm like, that's a foot armor. I mean, technically, but. You had to write a paper on how much water you can replace with vodka in a Jello shot before it will not set. I have a question. Are they trying to send a message that, like, guys, you should get out more? Like, was your class too well behaved? That's wild, actually. Apparently my fortress is chaotic good because it's symmetrical, yet at the same time not. Also, I looked away from this and then looked back at it, and now it looks like a Pokeball to me. Fuck. Shit. Now I've done it. You know, the seed packet that I bought last year told me that my cucumbers were a squash. Just saying. Not that that's really relating to or helping this discussion in any real meaningful or properly functional way. Oh, geez. Right, yeah, okay. I need to wall this whole lower half off. Although, question, am I even... I guess I am making blocks. And grates. It will squash. I'm pretty sure if you leave anything in the fridge too long, even your face, it'll squash. Okay, so... What's the value of these? 500? Oh, that's pretty good. Pretty sure these statues will do it. You know, the words fruiting body, I had a discussion with one of the gardeners at my community garden last year about this. Just sounds like a pickup line. And, like, you can't convince me otherwise. All right, we're now done. The Holy Silver, the lower rank, is now let's say Feb, the Strand Extractor, which makes Greg and then some a Holy Avalanche. So that is now completed, although they're currently stuck in there and can't get out. So, oh, actually not anymore. We finished building the thing, but... And then you... down here. It's all sandstone, sandstone. Takes 80 blocks to finish. 16 it is. I also really like the color of Jet. Jet's got a good navy blue to it. Reminds me of my jeans. We can keep your accreditation if you're just gonna write whatever garbage, but you have to write an essay about any ingredient used in the bakery. So I, being a shithead and having actually attended an actual university for 3 years, obviously wrote a full essay with citations and references, the whole shebang, and the chef was flabbergasted, and it was probably the best written essay they had in 10 years of teaching on the exact amount of vodka you can put in a Jell-O shot before it. Okay. I have a question. What kind of bakery sells Jell-O shots? Because, like, I've been to many bakeries in my life. I've never been to a bakery that sells Jell-O shots. Clearly the fun kind of bakery, yeah. Bakery bar restaurant combo? All right, I need to queue up a new squads. This one's just going to be a no uniform squad currently. Let's see, who, let's see, is there anybody here who's good at this already? Barksteel was the one who got super scarred, right? Yeah, it still's pissed. Still is pissedest. After killing all them troglodytes. Yeah, he's still hopeless. Okay, yeah, no, you're not getting that job back anytime soon. How about Stodier, the shearer? You're an accomplished Marksdwarf. Ooh. Why don't I make a Marksdwarf squad? Dreams of mastering a skill? Okay. Let's just real quick assign uniform, or add uniform. Let's just say armor, not gonna be picky. Helms, not gonna be picky. Leggings, specifically. Gauntlets. Let's say high boots. Bucklers. And crossbows. And we'll call this crossbow. And not going to worry about it replacing or being worn over clothing. Because I need to also make a setup for you. You're lustful. Dreams of crafting a masterwork. Oh, fair enough then, Sir Lord. We need a Jell-O shot emoji. Oh, just like the... You need to talk to the... Isn't it literally called the Emoji Consortium? Like, they have, like, a weirdly ominous sounding name. The people who, like, decide what emojis are actually emojis. She's brave in the face of imminent danger. You can be my next militia commander. You're a talented armor user, are you now? Killed nothing. Somewhat fearful in the face of imminent danger. Okay, we'll have to avoid you on that. We're gonna get attacked soon, aren't we? In terms of mastering a skill, personally finds helping others be emotionally rewarding. Get caught up in internal deliberations when action is necessary. She values peace over war. you can go into this squad. Dreams of mastering a skill. Not Tsubami. You would like an angry dwarf. Beard or no preference. You do not mind. All right, well then you're getting this baby. It's the angriest dwarf I have. Baby says, Bamada. Generally is unhindered by the thoughts of others concerning his actions, prefers to be alone, is currently crying, most likely, and is assertive, likes screaming, most likely, and is somewhat quarrelsome because he likes screaming, most likely. He is bothered by this as he values friendship, and he likes to keep things practical without delving too deeply into the abstract, is stubborn, and thinks that he is fairly important in the grand scheme of things. He tends to assume that the worst of two outcomes will be the one that comes to pass, and he is quite polite. He has a tendency to go it alone without considering the advice of others, and needs alcohol to get through the working day, and has gone without a drink for far too long. What? Mom, give your kid a drink. The fuck? You're literally carrying him. Chuck him in the barrel or something. Oh, it's also probably because we're out of booze. He personally holds the maintenance and tradition. The maintenance of tradition is one of the highest ideals, and sees war as a useful means to an end. And sees sacrifice as wasteful and foolish, and values decorum. Also, we're in an ad break, meaning you probably can't see what's happening. Right, yeah, I got rid of I was making new stills and got distracted. That's what's happening. Or what happened, rather. You sent me a link to the paper? All right, I'll have to take a look at your very old homework. I have this weird feeling we've had this discussion before, though, Hobo. This does seem vaguely familiar. $2015? Man, you were watching this stream back then. It's 10 years ago, man. Jesus Christ. Sorry, I just gained like 3 gray hairs by saying that out loud. You know, literally, yeah, someone get this baby a Jello shot. Probably watch Rhoda while watching the stream, yeah. Especially if it was a Monday. This fort is like in the middle of renovations with a streamer who's constantly distracted. And so I keep forgetting the most crucial things that need to be done on a regular basis. It's a lot of tower cap. You know, actually, I'm going to do tower cap floors. Because I just like the way tower cap floors look. I also really like the way sandstone stills look. There we go. Drinks are already climbing again. The way I'm going to do this, though, is brew, drink from plant. If number of drinks is below 100, check it monthly. And we'll do 350. And we'll do brew drinks from fruit. If number of drinks is less than 100, and I have more than 10 brewable leaves and fruit, because I don't have much fruit around the fort. And then we'll just say 100. What's my favorite color? In Dwarf Fortress or in real life? Probably charcoal in real life, like kind of a light gray colors. In Dwarf Fortress, probably jet or microcline. Blue or navy blue? I really like the way this brewery kitchen area is starting to look. Like, I really like the way it's starting to look. I think it's starting to look really nice. I think it's going pretty well. Chat, how's the fort going? And by that, I mean, how are you entertained by this fort? And also, how's your fort going if you're playing Dwarf Fortress? I think I will smooth these walls on a lower priority. I think I could put a kitchen over here, maybe. How's the value of this? It's not quite high enough just yet. Got to increase the value just slightly. One of the few layers going down a spire. Going down a spire. Oh, I see. I mean a adamantine spire. I was thinking underworld spire. I was like, damn. Found a second cavern, 60 Z levels worth of open space, and dwarves can't seem to see the bottom. Well, that's always cool when you scroll and you can't actually see the bottom. Big fan of that. Okay, so that should be pretty much done now. This here needs work, I think. Like all the way along here. Needs new walls. And I also need to widen this. Let's also go down this until I get to the aquifer areas. Well, at the very least, they're getting showers. Not the nicest showers in the world, but hey, they're showers. I'm really curious to see. You know, probably the best way to do this would just be to dig out enough until it starts actually flooding in a somewhat problematic fashion. And then when it starts actually flooding in a somewhat problematic fashion, just like fill it up with, or cut the edges out and then just cave the whole fucking thing in. It's probably the way to do it. Smooth like the very furthest edges and then just cause a multi-layer cave in. It's probably the way to do that. Because right now it's not even remotely problematic, but it could get there. Fair enough. I'm sorry, what? Kyle? What did you call me? Play some raft, gotcha. The value of that is more than high enough. Lots of damp stone is located, turns out. Okay, so let's go rock cabinet, rock coffer. Also going to go over here, and I'm going to make a metalsmith's shop right there. Make you out of jet. I'm going to go to furnaces. I'm going to rebuild that initial wood furnace I had over there in case I need it again. I'm going to make another one of these. If I scroll down, they did in fact dig out that coal. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to auto mine this. And then turn off auto mining. And dig up to there. And that's also more coal, so I will also just auto mine that. I'm always happy when I actually find coal. Fort is nice. You didn't have any sieges yet, but managed to capture and train a rock. Oh, damn. That murders every visitor that goes into your tavern. Nice, 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 nice. And mechanical, the mechanical garlic. Oh, that is in fact I do also enjoy garlic mechanics. So it's like surprise mechanics, except it clears your nose instead of costing you absorbent amounts of your hard-earned money. Then I have to go in here and deconstruct all these scaffoldings. This will be the first one. Still need to do the roof part, though. I don't think things can get on top of this roof, so it should be safe to just build you up again and then roof her off. Maybe even put a patio up here. Before that KV multiplies itself, I need to unexist it. And we have an artifact that's begun. And it's already started, damn. It's a metalsmith's forge, and he's grabbed pig iron bars. Well, that's a decision. That's a wood furnace. I wanted more of these. We don't have any fuel. So any bets what this dwarf makes? They're a miller. I'm not going to click on them and see what their best job is, but I'm curious of what you guys think that dwarf's gonna make. Miller makes a pig iron pick. Sorry, I didn't give you guys a chance to guess. Huh. I don't know how I feel about that. This is a pig iron pick. All craftsmanship is of the highest quality. It menaces with spikes of pig iron. I also would not have guessed that. That's a new one for me, that's for sure. Just gonna go in here and say if number of rock coffers is less than rock cabinet, if number of rock cabinets is less than, and I'm not gonna specify the color for the coffers and cabinets. Well done, Dwarf. I will say that a rock is probably the most effective bouncer you could probably have for a tavern. I would say that the first disaster was probably this dwarf dying. Getting just murked by, like, before I even got a second dwarf, just dead immediately. Got murked by a bunch of troglodytes running out of the fortress. Dwarf make a golden barrel artifact? Oh, is in like the gem type? Or was it a barrel out of gold? I've actually made gold barrels before. Pretty good for strength training because the dwarves have to haul them around all the time. Gold barrels are pretty. That I will agree with. Also, these are some ginormous bedrooms. These dwarves should be very thankful. So you can make a DK crew? Are they war trainable? I wonder. The way to do this would just be to dig through this wall and then start building these. Same with that side. Man, 32. And I need 36. No, I mean like literally, like can you war train monkeys in Dwarf Fort? Like, are there any war trainable monkeys? Because if there are any, I'm not familiar with them. Goodbye, bees? What about the bees? There's bees right here. What are you talking about? If I need to train doctors, I'll just station them up there. The people that need to be training the doctors, not the doctors themselves. Oh, bees are the... Oh, right, yeah. I thought wasps were the canonical enemies in DK. Because I've played Donkey Kong Country. And that game is full of fucking wasps, but I don't recall seeing a singular bee. No. Also, I'm gonna go into here and get rid of these. And go up to here and say, pig iron, steel, just gonna repeat these. for a bit. You don't think it's clarified? All I'm saying is, I'm a big fan of bees. In real life, I love bees. I think they are lovely. And I'm not a big fan of this extremely inaccurate, downright dangerous anti-bee propaganda that's constantly being propagated by literally every human being in existence. It's like, why must we incorrectly hate these bees so much? Bees are wonderful. I'm literally just trying to get rid of these limestone blocks. Okay, you know what? I'll just do this. Okay, but like, I'm a metalhead, right? And I walk around in a metal vest that's covered in patches. I'm not a biker, nor am I part of a drug dealing gang. Just because they also wear vests covered in patches doesn't mean that I'm automatically associated with them. Bees are yellow and go bzzz. Wasps are yellow and go bzzz. And they're not even remotely similar. Why can't we just differentiate between the two correctly? It's not that difficult. Be nice to wasps. They did nothing wrong. That's all I'm saying. Wasps are the cops of the bug world. I would say that they're like more like the merc armies that are there to just fucking murder you. They're more like just mercenary soldiers for hire of the bug world. Although I guess in some parts of the world that's just cops. So yeah, I guess you're probably totally right. Same deal for hornets. Happy to help. Who's the monkey? Who's the monkey? We are talking about Donkey Kong, so you're in the right place. I mean, I'll be honest with you. As a gardener, I also like wasps. I went on this rant many times last year about how I, at certain times of the year, will actually straight up just leave honey outside for wasps. Because they, like, I hated wasps growing up, but having spent months of my life carefully cultivating and growing tomato plants, watching a wasp go up to a tomato plant like this, hover for a few seconds, and then just going down, picking up a slug and flying away with it. Oh, they're wonderful. As long as you're not poking their house, they're very kind. Like my old neighbors. As long as you're not on their property, you're not going to get shot, so just don't go on their property. That's if you don't breathe at them, yeah. If you don't breathe at them, don't breathe on them, don't breathe near them, and they won't smell the fear on your breath. I mean, don't get me wrong. Like wasps can be mean. So can hornets. But like, I don't hate wasps the way I did when I was younger. I think wasps' nests are cool. I mean, to a point, yeah. I mean, if we're just talking like scientifically, yeah, they're super neat. I think they're also mildly horrifying in kind of an existential way, but how are we doing on bars? Very low on the steel. Well, that's because I've used it for other things. Let's do rock table, rock throne. Make these out of jet. Just don't fall there, dwarves. That's all you gotta do. It's very simple. No falling. You'd take all the ecological hits if it meant they go straight to hell. I think if you realize just how bad those ecological hits would be, I think you'd change your mind about that statement, but I'm not going to deny they are in fact assholes. Like, they're very mean bugs, but they are extremely important. You know, some people would probably say almost the same sentence about me, though, so... It's like, Blind's an asshole. I would take any kind of asshole as long as it means Blind stops making videos. Somebody probably felt that way. If you step on their under. I mean, hey, if you crushed your house with my foot, if you crushed your house, my house with your foot, I would also attack you, okay? I'm with them on that one. As much as it sucks for the person doing this stepping, I am kind of with them there. So you want to know my favorite thing about wasps? Is that they release a, basically like a, what's the word? I want to say pheromone, but I don't think that's the right word. They release a very strong scent when they die. And they know what other members of their hive smell like when they die. So if you kill a wasp, it's basically like summoning the fucking cavalry. So like the worst thing you can do if you don't like wasps is to kill a wasp. And like I remember one of my neighbors in the old building complained that they constantly had wasps in their apartment because there was a wasp's nest in one of the trees. I was like, what, are you killing them? They were like, yeah, every time I see them. I'm like, well, that's why. They're coming to investigate. They're like, what the fuck happened to Larry? What'd you do to Larry? Goddamn murderer, and they know it. They're sending their criminal investigators to come and give you questioning. And that's why they attack you, Alan, is because they know that you're killing them. Just saying. That's actually something I kind of love about wasps, is that they're smarter than humans. Humans are like, I'll kill it, and it won't know any better. And then the wasp is just like, I know what you did. I'm here to extract vengeance. I am the knight. Real team players, yeah, absolutely. They will go and attack a building-sized threat because they smell the blood of their dead friends on your finger. Or, in this case, your bug assault gun. Or your zappy wand, or whatever. That being, like, although, that being said, if you have allergies, like, yeah, do what you gotta do. But you're better off, like, making a trap and putting it far away from you so that they try and attack the trap instead of, like, you. Like... I mean, I wouldn't say it's quite as simple as don't be a dumbass, but give them... I treat them like bears. Give them their space, avoid them when needed, and act calm. There's no such thing as a murder hornet. You know what I think is one of the funniest pieces of American propaganda in the last 10 years? Is that very brief period of time where everybody was freaking out about Japanese murder hornets. And the reason I think that it's so fucking funny is Japan has existed this whole time with these so-called murder hornets. And everybody there is fine. So, like, how can they be that bad? You know, like, There's lots of people who live in Japan, and they're all okay. And they've lived with these hornets. Like, yeah, they're invasive, so they shouldn't be here. But, like, you will be okay. Like, genuinely. Yes, they're large and scary. People can be large and scary. Because that doesn't grab headlines. Yeah, but, like... Well, some folk aren't fine. Okay, Jeff. I just think it's really funny. It's like, Japan's okay. Like, you never hear about people dying of these hornets. It's not like suddenly funnel web spiders are showing up over here. Also, people over here freak out about funnel web spiders in context of, like, Australia. And it's like, look at the number of funnel web spider caused deaths in the last 100 years. It's very, very low. You freak out over any spider? Oh, I love spiders. I used to be scared of spiders when I was younger. At this point, I'm at the point where I can just put a jar over any spider, doesn't matter what it is, and carefully place it outside without hurting the spider. We have our native... No, here's the thing. I completely agree with you, Andy. Andy, who's saying that, like, it's our natural, like, bee and wasp populations getting decimated by those hornets. That is true. That is the threat. But the number of headlines, like, they're an invasive species, right? For the same reason that, like, giant African snails shouldn't be in Florida, right? But the number of headlines that I saw when that was a major going concern, that was like, don't get stung by one of these, it'll kill you, which, not true, is just amazing to me. Because it's like, it takes 15 seconds of brain capacity to think, oh, yeah, no, these are an invasive species, and you don't want them here because they're going to murder our bees and bumblebees. Which, yes, bad. That shouldn't, you don't want that. That's not good. But frankly, like, you'd have to get stung like 50 times to, like, really have a problem. Unless you're allergic. You like to catch flies and feed spiders. Well, I mean, some of us show plenty of signs when we're young about being future psychopaths and, like, murderers, and some of us just make it obvious. Now, I didn't do that, but I did set anthills on fire with my glasses. This is... You mean Bigby and the Bumbles? Man, you know, I've successfully pet bumblebees before, and they just kind of look at me funny. They're like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, they just kind of, like, do, like, an about face, like, look at you, like, what? What in the fuck? Why are you poking me? Bumblebees are great. Ants don't give a fuck. Ants are just the evil droid army of the real world. To be fair, North America is just one giant ant colony. Yep. Yes, it was. Or is, actually. That is very much the truth. Although, frankly, as far as bugs go, you could do worse than ant colony. Ants did, in fact, invent farming before humans did. They just did it naturally. We actually had to think we were smart enough to invent something. The true kings and queens of animal husbandry. Oh, that doesn't have a roof yet, does it? They're free to join if you ask nicely. I'll have to try that sometime. I don't speak Ant, though, so I may have to go get a Duolingo subscription or something. This is not a Duolingo sponsored bit. I don't feel like I need to say that, but I feel compelled to say that. Leaf cutter ants? Oh, true. Leaf cutter ants are nifty. Let's make 4 iron hatch covers. Is Duolingo dead? Oh, as you can tell, I've never been sponsored by Duolingo. I didn't even know that. Wait, what happened to Duolingo? Genuine question. Did they go bankrupt or something? Or did they fire all their employees in exchange for a big AI? And then the app just shut off one day and nobody knew how to turn it back on. Dwarves here's to trades is. They killed the owl. I beg your pardon? Oh, Duo. Is that the name of the owl? I wouldn't know. You know, let's finally sell all these puzzle boxes. Their mascot is dead or something. I'm so confused. The duo bird died in a... Is this just like a bad piece of marketing? What is this? Their Welsh courses went down. That seems bad. I don't really know what to sell. They announced the owl died. Why? Is this a dated reference? Is this an out-of-season April Fool's joke? More sponsor. Tickets to Serbia booked just in case. Have a lovely day. Uh-huh. Noted. Thanks for the logs, dwarves. It's an ad campaign that all those people and yourself are not participating in. Oh, right. I mean, it is making us discuss Duolingo, so. I was more just curious if, like, they got a new mascot or if it's like a every day that you miss your streak on our silly app with guilt-tripping mechanisms, then an owl or our owl friend dies or something. I don't know. Anyway, viral marketing is... Ugh. So the jet statue of our good goblin goes in the tavern. And as for the tavern, well, it may be time to open up for business. I think I'll use the old zones so that the dwarves transfer over quicker. However, I'm going to name it from the sourness of blockading to the greed of can't write us. Greed of brews. Sure, we'll go with that. And now I can go down here and deconstruct this zone because we now have this zone. And here come all the dwarves. It's time to go to the grand opening of the glorious new tower. That kind of looks like the old Twitter logo. Crap. I'm just going to pretend I didn't see that, and I definitely won't see that forever. I've never actually had a burger from Burger King. I had chicken fingers at Burger King once, like 15 years ago, and I don't think I've been back. Just change it to an X. Right. I saw a article last night, right as I was going to bed, about some guy who's suing because people keep putting "Don't support Nazi" stickers on his Tesla truck. And I think they're honest. I think they have a pretty good point. I have IBS and refuse to ever touch Burger King again. Worst mistake of your life. Oh, geez. Yeah, you gotta be cautious if you got that IBS. But it's funny because the lawsuit's literally just man is suing because people keep leaving offensive stickers on his truck. It very effectively refuses to leave or refuses to include the information of what the stickers say. Very conveniently. The people who are putting stickers on his truck. Because those trucks are 1984 trucks. You can see who walked past your truck because they're covered in cameras. It's going pretty well, I think. I mean, we haven't had anything crazy happen just yet. It's been pretty chill, at least thus far. But we are very close to a lot of goblins, and now we're above 90 population, so I have a feeling that's going to change pretty soon. And I'm kind of putting off building a proper front door. And since building destroyers function again, I actually have to be kind of cautious. So all of that stated, it's going pretty well. I will take the nothing crazy happening for the time being as well. I remember this was a good couple years ago, Stone. My uncle, who worked for the RCMP at the time, I think he still does actually. He retired and then unretired. What's the word? My green screen's starting to fail me. Gotta point the light at it. But there we go. My uncle who works for the RCMP was saying that they recently solved a murder case where the suspect was found because they announced that they located the body And then they've watched the GPS of his car, go to the location, stop for an hour and a half with the trunk open, then close the trunk and then drive to a different location, trunk open for an hour and a half, and then they arrested him with the body. So, you know, I assure you that stuff's probably legal. Although they probably have to get around GDPR, but I'm sure they have figured out some way. Yeah, my fort yesterday died because of building destroyers. And we just got another migrant wave. Chat room, I've been streaming for almost 9 hours. Oh, Cybertrucks specifically ain't legal. Right. As in, like, they just can't import them? We need to figure out how to make that law work here. Chat room. I've been live for almost 10 hours, as I said. I think it's probably time for me to call it. It's been a good stream, though. I do have a few things in here I gotta work on. This needs to be covered. This obviously still needs work, but the actual structure here is, you know, it's getting there. We've got a tavern now, so that's something. We've got the bridge up and running. It's all covered. I am slowly but surely gonna be flooding the entirety of the caverns because I'm saying screw it to this aquifer. Because all the good colors are in the aquifer, so damn it, I'm gonna mine out this entire goddamn aquifer if I have to. I don't care how much water flows down into these caverns. So I'll have to figure that out. Probably actually just like dig through there. That'll be fine. It'll flow out. It'll all sort itself out eventually. But, you know, we've got this rather wet, or soon to be rather damp cavern there. We got attacked by rodent men and won. We built an army, or a mostly functional squad. If I unpause the game, see? They're getting more squatted up as time goes on, which is good. We have a secondary squads that I've just started. And I will be streaming tomorrow, but I'm not planning to play Dwarf Fortress tomorrow. Uh-oh. Wait, no, that's not a problem. This can fill up with water. I think I'm slowly flooding this fortress. May have to consider that. But yeah, the plan is to stream tomorrow, but to not play any Dwarf Fortress. It's not longer streams recently, and for those of you who've been paying attention, and like in the 10 plus hours kind of levels. I mean, today it's 8 hours and 49 minutes, just under 9 hours, 8 hours on YouTube. And I'm really tired. You know, like this is the first kind of full week of work I've done since getting back, or since getting finished with moving. And now that I am in the new location, I'm in the process of keep figuring out exactly what my office is going to be like for the next fucking 10 years probably. And also figuring out scheduling, and I've got a bunch of stuff I got to do this weekend, and I got a TV I got to go set up because that arrived this morning. Tomorrow I've got some IKEA furniture showing up, which I need to build. So, like, I've got other things I need to do